In the 1960s, surviving as an indigent student in Paris meant living strictly on a budget of just 10 francs a day. Sitting down for dinner at a quiet corner cafe in the Latin Quarter with a group of affluent friends, panic set in when I saw the menu prices. But then, absolute relief. An entree listed at only 8 francs, called steak tartare. It arrived as a total surprise, a pile of completely raw meat topped with a raw egg and onions. Feeling like an unsophisticated rube, I began to gingerly nibble at the edges of this mishmash, assuming someone was eventually going to take it back to the kitchen and cook it. One of my dinner companions quickly noticed my confusion and asked if I liked horse. I tried to correct her, saying my uncle kept horses, but she pointed out the truth. That is exactly what I was eating. The bite stopped dead in my throat. I just couldn't swallow Black Beauty. That single, shocking moment forced a lifelong resolution. I would always understand exactly what I was putting into my body. Ignorance about our consumption is a dangerous default state. We have to ask ourselves how often we still sit down at the metaphorical table and blindly swallow whatever is put in front of us, simply because it's convenient. Our frantic, modern lifestyle leaves little room for intention. We rush through our days, grabbing whatever is fastest and most accessible, completely sidelining actual nutrition. This chart shows the massive scale of the resulting health crisis, with a stark 35% of all Western adults now facing serious obesity and weight problems. This physical diet mirrors our economic one. We work endlessly to afford this quick, thoughtless consumption, locking ourselves into an exhausting cycle. This widespread struggle with weight is a tangible sign that our personal priorities have shifted. We have traded the time required for healthy sustenance for the speed demanded by our modern economy. Our definition of a good diet, and by extension, a good life, is remarkably malleable, conditioned almost entirely by culture and tradition. Take a look at the historical record of Emperor Hadrian. He regularly dined on meat pies stuffed with pheasant, peacock, wild boar, and sow's udder, a luxurious spread that would turn the modern stomach. In the 1st century AD, a renowned gourmand named Marcus Apicius took this culinary devotion further, dedicating his entire existence to the art of gastronomy. When Apicius realized he had spent his massive fortune completely down to zero on his culinary creations, he chose to commit suicide rather than live a life in poverty. Food can act as the elixir of life, bringing joy and satiation, but history proves that when consumption goes unchecked and becomes a mindless obsession, the results are deeply destructive. Today, we have traded the Roman extreme of decadent luxury for a distinctly modern obsession with pure speed and continuous acquisition. We live a highly peripatetic existence, a rushed, almost nomadic lifestyle constantly in motion, leaving zero room for deliberate action. Very few families have the time to practice the concept of slow food, the idea of leisurely visiting a fresh food market on the way home to fastidiously prepare a delicious, nutritious meal. The very concept of work is transforming into a tool used strictly to consume and acquire more things. The modern worker who blindly participates becomes what is known as a wage slave, trapped in an endless loop of laboring simply to buy. By accepting this frantic pace, we sacrifice our health, our time, and our palate to fuel a capitalist grind that offers no lasting nourishment. But a counter-movement is growing. More people are taking their health seriously, actively rejecting the notion that aging is an inevitable disease of decline. The solution to our modern burnout might actually lie in a 2,000-year-old philosophical framework championed by the Roman statesman Cato the Elder. He advocated for an existence that actively avoided materialism, focusing instead on frugality, honest hard work, and a simple life spent serving the common good of the family and the state. This ancient agrarian model of simplicity is resonating deeply right now, becoming the precise clarion call for post-millennials desperate to escape the exhausting extremes of modern consumption. Evidence of this lifestyle change is appearing in Greece, where many young people are abandoning cities to return to the land, grow their own food, and find peace. Take a moment on your next thoughtful walk to deeply analyze what your own daily diet, both literally and metaphorically, actually consists of. Intellectual preparedness and a genuine openness to change our habits are our best allies against the approaching environmental and economic shifts. Embrace critical thinking. Look for something magical and beautiful every day, and refuse to participate as an unquestioning wage slave. Because if the modern, fast-paced life is so inherently painful and difficult, we must consciously choose to stop being the ones who blindly continue to endure it.